Hi. Sometimes we invest some money at a specific interest rate, and after a few years, we get some extra money, and we decide to invest this amount of money at a different interest rate. But what we're trying to do here, we're trying to find out what would be the overall rate of return. If we have this case, like this example that I'm going to show it to you. Don Miller had a deposit of $10,000 in a saving account 10 years ago. This account paid an interest 5.5% for the first 4 years and interest rate of 6.5 for the remaining 6 years. So in this case, what we see changes in the interest rate. Sometimes whether you add money at a different interest rate or because of the economic status for the country, for the world, we see a fluctuation in the interest rate. But our rule as finance managers and finance engineer, what we do, we need to do the calculation to find out what would be the overall investment. So this part would be part A, how much is this investment worth now, and what would be the rate on return for this investment. So what I would recommend first of all, simplify things by creating a cash flow table. So we're having 10 years investment, 0 to 10. So we'll create one column for the years and the second column for the cash flow. And what we have here, we have only one transaction of a negative $10,000, and we need to know what would be the future amount for this money in 10 years. So but what we need to know also, on the first 4 years from 1 to 4, we have a different interest rate. We started with 5.5. So we're going to put I is equal to 5.5 interest rate for the first 4 years. Then the next 10 years, I'm going to put different colors just to know that we have a different interest rate at 6.5%. Okay, how we could solve this problem? So what we do first, we need to calculate what would be the 10,000 after 4 years, and then from there we could find out what would be the 10,000 at the 10 years. So first step is to find what would be the future value by the end of year 4, and then whatever the amount is, we're going to use it as the present worth for the beginning of year 5, and then we're going to find out what would be the future value at the end of year 10. So to find out the future value, the FV function will be used, and the rate would be 5.5 for the first 4 years, and then number of years, we're going to invest this for 4 years now, and then no payment. The next parameter would be the present value, and that would be a negative $10,000, and close the parentheses. The $10,000 after 4 years will be $12,388. $12,388. Now we're going to use this amount to be as a present value, and we're going to invest this for additional 6 years, year 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we're going to use the future value. Rate now, we have a different rate, 6.5. Number of years, we're going to invest this for additional 6 more years. And we don't have any payment. This is the parameter for the PMT. We don't use anything, just add another comma. For the present value PV parameter, we use what has been accumulated at the end of year 4, which is a $12,388. Close the parentheses. and that would give you a total. And what we do in order to make this a positive number, we reverse the function by adding the negative sign to that. So the 10,000 at the end of year 10, you will receive it as a $18,076. And this is after 6 years. So this is part A. How much is this investment worth now? So that would be $18,076. What would be the rate on investment? This is a good question. The rate on investment. So what we need to do, the rate of investment, just go to the basics. What is the rate of investment? Is comparing what has been invested versus what has been generated in terms of profit. So we started with a 10,000. So this is where we start. I'm going to write start. We started with a $10,000. 1, 2, 3. And we invested this, so let's say a negative $10,000, and we ended this investment with after 10 years. After 10 years, we ended with 18,000 positive when we withdraw this amount. When Don Miller withdraw this amount, would be $18,076.21. And we said n equal to what? N equal to 10 years. We invested for 10 years. So again, we started with a 10,000. We ended this investment with $18,000, and that would be the project lasted for 10 years. So the best and the easiest way to calculate the rate of return would be using the function rate, and we put the number of years. That would be 10. We don't have any payment. The present value would be minus or negative 10,000 because you invested this, you paid out of your pocket 10,000 and deposit this into a saving account. And the future value by the end of the 10 years, how much you returned on this investment in terms of the cumulative sum of this project. That would be this positive $18,000. Close the parentheses and click OK, and this is rate of return, ROR. And then we make sure to increase the number of decimals to at least two or three decimal places to have a more accurate. So the rate of return for this investment is 6.1% as a rate of return, and this would be the answer. There's another way for doing the rate of return. Let's go ahead and try it together. So that would be 0, 1, 2, and we build a cash flow from 0 to 10, and then on year 10 would be negative 10,000. In year 10 we will receive a positive $18,076.21, and there's no transaction over these years. These going to be 0. And now what you could do, you could use the IRR and select these values and click OK. And now make sure to have the rate of return to at least two decimal places, so that will give you the same result, 6.1. So I give you now two ways to calculate the rate of return, whether using the rate function, financial function, and then the other way, the second way, is using the IRR financial function. Both ways would work. Use whatever you think would be better for you. All you need to do is simplify things, create your cash flow table, analyze the case before you go ahead and start. Thank you so much.